One, just on what my colleague just used the term overreacted with regard to China. Is how much truth do you think it is in if you say that the US overreacted with this President Biden being pressured from like the US media a little too much, and there is not much truth into the surveillance equipment terminology there, and that it was just some media people who didn't want President Biden and China to get a little bit closer. You know, they were not interested in Blinken's visit, and is there any truth to that, you think, or no? There was some surveillance equipment found in the buildings as well.
So a couple things there. First, it is a fundamental misunderstanding of the United States to suggest that we take these sort of actions based on anything other than what's in our national interest. This was a decision that the president made in close consultation with the Secretary of State, with the National Security Advisor, with the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, with the Secretary of Defense as well. And ultimately, the course of action was one that was put forward and executed by the Department of Defense. When it comes to what we've heard from the PRC, I'm just not going to give that too much oxygen. Let me see if I can state it as clearly as I can. The PRC knows precisely what this was. The PRC knows precisely why this was in our airspace. The PRC knows precisely what this was doing over the United States. And ultimately, the PRC knows precisely why we did what we did. The Secretary made the point on Friday that if the shoe were on the other foot, if something analogous were to have happened within PRC airspace, you can only imagine the response from Beijing. We've been clear, we have been resolute, but we've also been practical as well. And we have taken practical steps since the time this high-altitude surveillance balloon was detected to mitigate its ability to collect intelligence against sensitive sites, to mitigate any threat it could pose to the American people. But more than that, in a way, we flipped the script because we've trained quite a bit of capabilities of our own at this high-altitude surveillance balloon while it was violating our airspace. We learned quite a bit about it and the practice in general, the technology that was on board. And as you've heard, I think just recently from my colleagues at the Department of Defense, there is an active effort underway to recover what is left of this high-altitude surveillance balloon on the surface of the ocean. And in the coming days, there will be an effort to collect what we can from the bottom of the ocean.